The interesting thing, so this is the Higgs boson, which was discovered last year. You know, the interesting thing about the Higgs boson is it's the end. It's the end, in some sense, of the Standard Model. The Standard Model of particle physics, which is the crowning achievement of particle physics, of fundamental physics, was predicted in 1964. And there's a certain way in which nothing since then, and maybe you guys can, nothing since that we've done since then has sort of taken us beyond the Standard Model. And that's really, I think, part of the crisis you're talking about. So it was the last puzzle piece in this edifice that was built, that was, sort of, in some sense, completed on a certain level, in 1964. And the crisis now, we don't know where to go next. Next.
Just maybe a modest footnote, because I
go ahead.
But to say that there are realms beyond the Standard Model, or I say other neighboring areas where the fact that many people have worked hard and come to agree that this thing exists is part of the furniture of the world, this Higgs boson, another 50-year journey to try to discover it. That the fact that there's solid evidence for that kind of matter suggests that we have at least a notch more confidence in thinking about comparable forms of matter and what roles they might have played in other exotic and different sort of scenarios, whether it's in the early universe or elsewhere.
Well, I mean, it gives us license
one
to
more.
Imagine, right?
We already had, there's no, imagining's cheap, right, as we all know. And we've been imagining things for at least the last 50 years. But to say, well, there's that piece of matter seems to actually not be only imaginary.
Right.
And that says, well, that doesn't mean my new theory that includes matter like that is true, but at least my theory might have some more reason for me to get up the next day and keep beating my head against it. So in that sense, there's a modest form of increased motivation, even though, so in some sense, we all knew or hoped it had to be there. The fact that it was found changed very little.
Right.
If it had not been found, there would have been presumably, there could have been much bigger disruption.
Much more exciting, actually, in a way, if it hadn't been found.
Exciting, like when you don't know where your keys are and you lost your car and then horrible things are coming. That's exciting. Like, the house on fire is exciting for you. But I'm more like Tim. Right?
Well, I mean, I think that I would rather have them have discovered the dark matter particle personally.
Right. If we get to vote.